Hello at Strange Loop, and today I have Frances. Introduce yourself, Frances.
Hi everyone, I'm Frances. I'm a software engineer at Accenture. Previously I was getting my master's at Coronel Tech, and before that I got a bachelor's in computer science at Hampton University, which is where I'm from, Norfolk, Virginia area.
Okay, so tell us why you're at Strange Loop.
So I'm at Strange Loop because I recognize that as a developer you have to constantly be learning over and over again like the latest and greatest technologies to stay on point. Otherwise, what you learn is going to become outdated. So I came to this conference to be able to stay with the latest and greatest technologies, and I realized that I wouldn't be able to afford it all on my own. I just got a job. I'm a new grad. And so I decided to apply to be a Project Alloy grantee, and thankfully enough they actually sponsor everything, so without them I would not be here today, and I'm really glad.
So tell me more about that, because I don't want to brush over that. I want you to tell me about specifically, excuse me everybody, the screen is, I'm shaking a little bit. I need to buy something that holds everything up, but you know me, it just is what it is. So tell me, I want you to tell everybody what this scholarship means. I mean, I really want you to dig deep and just talk about why having that scholarship is important, why being a grantee is important for you and important for you in your career.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a Latina in tech, and obviously, it's very hard to find anyone who has a similar background to me and also has the same skill set as I do. And the fact that I was able to find such a program that is able to provide not just the monetary expenses for this conference, but also that community factor, because they're sponsoring a lunch meeting, and they're also making sure that they get the emails of everyone involved so that they can follow up with them later. And it's hard to find that, honestly. You can find that in Redwood City, which is where I'm from, a little bit,
mm-hmm.
because there are so many Latinos there in that area. But I only just got and moved to Redwood City, so this is all still very new to me, right? This is my first full-time job. So coming in and knowing that there are programs like this that exist means a lot to me.
And then one thing I did see is when I asked about the different channels on the Slack channel, they were saying that they want to put stuff in place for future conferences.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
Strange Loop is their first time. So they're not only connecting people at this conference, but they're looking to connect old grantees with future grantees so that it really builds a network and a community. So having a community really means a lot to you in your professional development.
Yeah, just because it's hard to find people who have a similar background. I've always had to mingle with people who don't have a similar background to me, just because it's so hard to find a Latino.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. What kind of backgrounds do most of these people have?
Computer science degrees.
So you don't. So you're saying that, that there are very few Latinos who are even in computer science.
Exactly.
So what made you decide to do that if it's not something that you're used to seeing?
Well, that wasn't going to stop me, whoever is in a specific major, but the reason I got interested in the first place is because I was actually in high school interested in biology, like a lot of people, I guess, but I realized early on that would mean that's more of the medical track. A lot of med students decide to major in biology, in college, and I didn't want to be a med student. That wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, okay, let me look into bioinformatics, and that's just the combination of biology and computer science. And I realized I had enough, knowledge in biology, so I wanted to pursue something different.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked into it my senior year of high school, and then I decided, okay, this is actually really fun, and I enjoy doing this. So then that's when I decided to actually major in it.
Oh wow! So are you doing bioinformatics now?
No, I kind of lost interest in that. Yeah.
Okay, but you kept interest in the computer part.
Yes, exactly. And I even went on to get a master's. I've even attended a coding boot camp. I don't know if you're familiar with those. Those are
yeah. Which one?
Yeah, Full Stack Academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've gone. So not only being the few or the only Latina.
Yeah.
To have that kind of experience in high school is very unique. First of all, because a lot of schools don't have that in depth of a computer.
It didn't.
Oh,
yeah. I was doing that on my own.
Oh, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's a lot of initiative in you to reach out and be the only in a lot of spaces. And so having this project Alloy grant or scholarship, and being in this space, it's like you're coming home to the rest of us nerds.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, because I mean, in Norfolk, Virginia, it doesn't have a lot of Latinos either, and so it's kind of been that way like since elementary school.
Yeah.
Like the only Latino or Latina in class, usually the latter.
Oh yeah, exactly. So, how did you even hear about it?
Strange Loop?
Yeah, and the scholarship.
Yeah, so I'm part of a Slack group, Norfolk JS. I'm from Norfolk, and they have a meetup group dedicated to JavaScript called Norfolk JS. And so I've attended meetups with them before, but sometimes they have like these announcements in the conferences Slack channel. And so I look at that a little bit because I like going to conferences, and especially if they have like a grant, I'll try to apply for that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And so I looked at the Strange Loop website early on, and I realized, oh, they are providing grants. Okay, let me apply and see what happens. And I put a lot of effort into that application.
So tell me, what do you bring to the table that makes you different? Because people question programs like projects like this. So what does being a Latina bring to this community that's missing?
I think it's just a different perspective, and I think that's why a lot of products, you see them fail with certain audiences because they don't have those perspectives. Snapchat, Uber, like if you have limited voices, you're not going to be able to reach a broader audience.
And so, again, for people who know me and watch listen to my podcast, I'm not here to talk about the morals of inclusion and diversity or the politics of inclusion and diversity. It's all about economics. And so you bring a perspective from not to say that you speak for all Latinas, but you speak for at least one. Yeah, that is not there. Yeah. That voice is not there.
I guess one can argue, like, if you want to talk dollar signs, like the Hispanic market is growing every day. We have it's like the spending value is increasing like this, right? Just because there are a lot of us here, a lot of immigrants here. Unfortunately, like with what's happening in politics nowadays, like there's we feel like some hate, but I think that we're here to stay, and that we're gonna become more powerful.
And that's one reason I don't want to talk about politics, because for me, that's not even realistic, because the economic value is that as long as Hispanics and other people from underrepresented and marginalized communities have money to spend, there's a place in the United States for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And so what you can bring to a team or product or service is some perspective, or at least what resources are. You know what the community's talking about. You can't speak for everybody, but you know of places that a non-Hispanic person, a non-female person would not know that even existed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Any final words you have to say about being here, being a grantee, or?
Well, I actually was looking at your blog, and I think it's really impressive you were able to interview Quincy Larson of Free Code Camp. I have a lot of admiration just for that organization in general. I thought that was really cool, and I'm really grateful that Project Alloy was able to give me a scholarship.
Well, thank you for taking your time and telling your story, because I believe everybody deserves to tell their story, especially in tech, because when we tell our stories, it allows people to understand why you need more than one voice in the room, more than one voice at the table, and it also lets people know that there are other experts in the room, and when there's other experts in the room, products are better, services are better. So thank you for being on the show.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Bye-bye. I guess